Welcome in to the Rob Bro Show. I am Rob Bro. I am the host. You are the co-host. You can co-host today by commenting on the starting line chat line over there. You know where it is. We're here in the Diversified Lender Studio. Starting line chat line brought to you by Starting Line Counseling. 15 minutes today can be yours for free to search out what you're doing in life with Chase. You can do it for 15 minutes for free. A consultation. Just go look up startinglinecounseling.com. Chase is a double graduate from Texas Tech and can get you fixed up. All right. Bro and I have the same hat on. That's good juju. Yes, it is. Hey, did you, Alan, did you go to the game? Did you go to the game last week? That's what I was going to ask you. I wonder if you had tickets for game 1 or 2 in Texas. I know you had ALDS tickets, but I didn't know if you had the game that didn't happen or the game that happened against Baltimore. I would like to know that from Alan. He's going tonight as well.
Of course he is.
Did you go to the ALDS, though? I want to see how that atmosphere was. Roof closed tonight, I saw.
Yeah.
The first pitch is going to be – who was the first pitch tonight?
Oh, like who's throwing the first pitch?
Yeah, it was I think it's Derek Holland.
That'd be cool.
I think it's Ian Kinsler to Derek Holland, maybe.
That's cool. I like
then
that.
I think Michael Young to Colby Lewis the next day.
Nice.
And then if it gets to Friday, I think it will. It's Tom Grieve to Benji Molina.
Love that setup.
Here's a trivia question for you that should be able to get because I just said his name in the last 5 minutes. Who is the only active roster Texas Rangers player to get a World Series ring?
The only active roster Texas Rangers player to get a World Series ring.
Yeah.
Scherzer with the Nationals?
No, it was sorry, I worded that question weird. Who is the only rostered Rangers player when they were on the Rangers to win a World Series ring? While they were a Ranger.
While they were a Ranger. So they got traded from someone who won the World Series.
Yeah.
And probably this is a tough question right now. On the active roster.
Yeah, he's I just said his name already, so you got it.
You said his name already.
Yeah, he's a catcher.
He's on the active roster right now?
No. He was on the active roster.
Oh, Benji Molina. Yeah, because he's on the Giants and the Rangers. Yeah.
He
was going to win a World Series ring either way. Yeah, I got caught up on the active roster part. Yeah. Anyways, Benji Molina.
He was on the Rangers roster, but got a World Series ring because he was traded.
Right, from the Giants to the Rangers. And then the Giants ended up winning the World Series when they won the wild card.
But he was a big part of that Rangers push.
Yeah, he was. He was huge. He hit for the cycle that year in Toronto.
Well, one of the last cycles the Rangers have had, I think.
Yeah.
Who had the last one? Adrian Beltre?
Yeah, that would make, he did.
Is he the last one to do it?
I don't remember anybody else.
Leonard Taveras is on his way to the cycle in the series.
Odie is hot
the next day. Let's get into the series. No LDS. He had tickets to game 4.
Didn't make it that far.
Didn't
see that coming.
If you would have told me the Texas Rangers were 7-0 in the playoffs, I would have said you are absolutely high.
Yeah.
We both picked Tampa Bay. Then we picked the Orioles.
Yeah.
I think we both thought Tampa Bay would sweep Texas. And then we both thought, well, maybe you get one against the Orioles, but you're probably not winning too many. And then you get to this Astros series, and it's like, well, the Astros own you.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in Houston, even though Houston wasn't good at all this year in Houston.
Yeah, you're not at home, yeah.
They were good against Texas.
They were good against Texas everywhere. You could have played that in San Antonio, and they still would have beat you.
So to be up 2-0 is just kind of fantastical.
Yeah.
You don't know why it's happening or how it's happening, but you're so happy it's happening. And there's going to be a lot of Creed tonight in the ballpark. I am very jealous of Alan for getting some ALCS tickets. I wonder if you get first dibs if you bought Game 4 tickets, if they let you get first dibs on the first game here. But you get 2 guaranteed in Texas. I keep saying in Texas, in Arlington.
Yeah.
The other games are in Texas too. By the way, did you see the numbers, the TV numbers?
Insanely high.
Insane.
Yeah.
People were worried, oh, it's all Texas. Nobody's going to watch. It was the most watched since like 2004 or something. And
Wow.
It was up 28% from last year over year.
Well, and here's the thing about just baseball in general this year, Major League Baseball, best attendance in the history of Major League Baseball across the board. Their TV numbers were sky high this year and everything. Baseball is becoming a sport that people like to watch because now you can watch it for 2 hours. A game can last for 2 hours.
Is baseball back?
Baseball's back. Yeah, I can actually watch a Major League Here's the thing. You and I both know I'm a baseball guy, played baseball in college, played at the pro level, not very high level of pro ball, but played it. Baseball was boring to me as a bullpen arm while I was playing the game, right? Like you're on a team, you're in a game, you're all these things, you're getting paid to play, not so much, but I got paid a little bit to play baseball. It was still boring to me. Now I can watch a major league game, I can watch a minor league baseball game and not be bored because it doesn't take long to get the ball back and get it chucked in there. Like, give me some action, man. I don't want to watch the Yankees and Red Sox play a 5-hour game because the pitchers can't pitch the ball but every 5 minutes. That's boring, man. But baseball now, there's so much, like, there's no downtime anymore. Even the in-between innings are only a minute long, so then you're right back into the action.
They basically made every pitcher Mark Burley.
Yeah, I love it.
So, and another guy who has taken the gamesmanship of the pitching clock back tonight, Max Scherzer. How do you think? Well, let's talk about the first 2 games first.
Yeah.
You win 2-0 to start the series, and then you kind of hang on 5-4 after scoring 4 in the first. In the second game, I thought that game was tied a couple of different times. I thought the first game was tied a couple of different times, especially that home run just missed by who was it? Was it Bregman to Evan Carter? Just short in the deepest part of the park.
Yeah, it was Bregman, and then double off Altuve.
I thought that game was tied on that.
Yeah, I agree.
But everyone does their business, and you get the strikeouts down the stretch. Leclerc gets a 4-out save. Just an incredible showing. Then he does the same thing. They're playing with fire, walking guys intentionally, basically, pitching around guys to get to McCormick. And then you have to pitch to Altuve in the next inning. He's not been doing well, but he is good in clutch moments. How good has Leclerc been over the first 2 games? In the playoffs. He's pitched in every playoff game.
He's pitched in all the games. Leclerc has been nails, and knock on wood, but the kid has been, I thought he would come in, especially in the Tampa Bay series. He came in, I think it helped that he didn't have to close a game. Like, he just could come in and get postseason experience. I think that was huge for Jose Leclerc. Get the jitters out, all of those things. Now you go to Houston game 1. It was a series. There wasn't a whole lot of high intensity close situations. There was one where you were up 4-1 or a 1-1 run game, I guess there was in that series. And he looked good. But this series and the Houston series, I thought he might come in and we might get the old Jose where he's overthrowing pitches. He's choking down the slider, all these things. But, man, he's been good. And he's located the fastball when he needs to. The slider has been his best pitch by far, especially out pitch. even when he doesn't throw it for a strike, it's still nasty enough to be a strike because guys are expecting that 98 mile an hour, 99 mile an hour fastball, and then you're getting a 92 mile an hour slider that just bites. And if you've already made up your mind, hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sport. Like, it's the hardest thing to do in professional sporting in the world. There's nobody that can convince me anything different because you have to be able to hit a little round ball that's coming at you at 92 miles an hour and spinning away from you or into your hands. And that's just hard to do. There's not a whole lot of people that can do it. That's why these guys get paid a lot. And so if you're a pitcher that can locate something so well and then bite the fastball in, I mean, Leclerc has done all those things, and give a lot of credit to Mike Maddox and that pitching staff for what they've been able to do with Jose Leclerc. You know, they shut him down in the middle of the season when he blew, he couldn't throw strikes. They did all these things. They just shut him down. They made him go back to the drawing board, made him go back to the lab, if you will, and figure out mechanics, figure out the little things of why he's making so many mistakes. And Jose Leclerc has been good ever since coming back. He really has been. And so I think that's been a big momentum for this Texas Rangers bullpen has been Jose Leclerc, and Aroldis Chapman's been able to come in and get some big outs as well, even though he doesn't make it look easy at times.
Whew, he does not.
Golly.
And Spores.
Yes, Josh Spores has been great since he came back too.
So, hey, all of a sudden you have a 7-8-9 bullpen.
Yeah, without Will Smith, who'd have thought?
You pretty well trust 7-8-9. Will Smith is going to have to pitch in this series
at some point.
Bradford is going to have to pitch in this series. Maybe tonight. We'll see how long Scherzer can go. Somebody's going to have to eat up innings.
You need 5 from Scherzer tonight. You need 5.
Is it Scherzer, Perez?
It's either Scherzer, Perez, or Scherzer, Heaney. Heaney was up the other night when Jordan Montgomery got in trouble in the 4th. And how about Jordan Montgomery the other night in game 1? Wow. Just bases loaded, nobody out, and the dude just squirrels out of an inning without giving up a run.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
And Josh gets the error.
Yeah.
And then gets the final play. Josh has had some really good defensive plays. He's
made one bad play.
And that was a weird bounce.
Yeah, it's a tough play, and you may not even get the guy if you field it cleanly and make the throw and all that. So it is what it is. I mean, it's a tough play for anybody. Josh Young, he makes that in his sleep, but something you're going to make an error every now and then.
Going up against Christian Javier tonight, he pitched once in the playoffs. It was a 9-1 victory for the Astros over the Twins.
Yeah, he didn't have to do much. 5 innings, that was it.
Yeah, 5 innings, walked 5, which if you walked 5 Twins, you're probably walking 8 Rangers. Mm-hmm. That's the trade-off there. The Rangers are really, really patient. Alan on the starting line chat line says Scherzer, Heaney, Perez. If all 3 of them pitch, that's you don't need all 3 of them to pitch.
No.
Because it's going to be Dunning and somebody, or John Gray and somebody in game 4 and 5.
Yeah.
You need one of those guys to be healthy to get some innings. I saw some Astros fans saying, well, we probably thought this was going to be 2-0 anyways. So no, you did not think it was going to be 2-0 Texas.
They thought it was going to be 2-0 them, maybe. Yeah. 2-0 Houston.
So you're in a really good spot with Scherzer coming up. I don't know how to feel about Max Scherzer coming back. You obviously, if you told me at the trade deadline, Max Scherzer was pitching game 3 up 2-0 in the ALCS.
You feel pretty good.
Like, oh, hell yeah. He's not pitched in a month. So I don't know what we're feeling right now. I'm still uneasy. The Rangers haven't lost in the postseason, and I feel like they've lost 6. I just don't know how to feel as a Rangers fan. But does this feel like Rangers-Phillies are on a collision course?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like the Rangers in Philadelphia are definitely on their way to playing a World Series where you're going to have 2 of the most insane environments in baseball in the history of baseball, because they said it. The announcer said it in the Baltimore series that place was shaking. It was so loud in Texas, in Arlington. So
with the roof on, for sure.
yeah, with the roof on, it's going to be insane. And the only other place that you come close to having that, because they flip flopped the series last year. The American League series were on TBS and all those, and National League was on Fox, I believe. So the Fox guys were in Philadelphia last year for the playoffs, and they said that the Philadelphia atmosphere is just ridiculously crazy. It's insane, but Arlington was a very close second in that atmosphere that the Rangers had in the Orioles series. So it's just going to be even more amplified tonight with the Astros coming to town. That crowd is going to be raucous. I mean, this fan base is so hungry to get back to the World Series and kind of take back what they feel like that they deserve, because of the way that you lost the World Series to the Cardinals that year. The Giants swept your tail in that World Series, swept you in 4 in the first year. Credit to Bruce Bochy's great manager. But you should have won a World Series when you lost to the Cardinals. So the Rangers fans, I think, are just hungry, and they're going to do everything they possibly can at Globe Life Field in the next few days to make it happen to where you get back to the show. And once you get there, man, it'll be interesting because I don't know, did Philly have a better record than you? I don't know what their record was overall.
No, I don't think so.
No, you had the same exact record. So I don't know what you get, 90 and 72. Both of you, just like the Astros. There's 3 teams left in the playoffs that had the identical record. That's insane. 90 and 72. The Astros, Rangers, and Phillies, and then obviously the Diamondbacks were just barely over 500, 84 and 78, and they're still ticking. But their road's about to end in a couple days, so I don't think the Diamondbacks won a game in that series, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't believe so. Roy says, "Is there any sign of life for my D-backs?" There doesn't appear to be. No, there doesn't appear to be.
No, there doesn't appear to be. They played their best baseball against the Dodgers.
Schwarber is on an insane run.
Well, Nick Castellanos is just stupid right now. He's hit 6 home runs, 7 home runs in his last 5 games.
Bryce Harper. People are saying
just dumb.
The conflict in Israel is helping Castellanos out. Anytime there's any kind of major peril in the world, Castellanos is banging.
He's hitting home runs. There's conflict in the world every day. So
yeah,
he should be hitting a lot of home runs.
We also have Gold Glove Award finalists. You ready for some AL Gold Glove Award finalists?
Yeah, I am.
Do you want to guess the only 2 positions on the infield that don't have a Ranger?
That don't have a Ranger?
Yeah.
Third base and catcher.
Pitcher.
Oh, yeah, pitcher. I forget pitchers can win Gold Gloves.
So AL pitcher, Jose Barrios, Pablo Lopez, Sonny Gray. AL catcher, Adley Rutschman, Jonah Heimhim, and Alejandro Kirk.
Rutschman will win that one.
Yeah, I probably
would. Because Jonah was hurt for some of it. And yeah.
First base, Anthony Rizzo, Nathaniel Lowe, Ryan Mountcastle from the Orioles.
It's a great group right there.
Second base, Mauricio Dubon from the Astros, Marcus Semien from your Texas Rangers, the odds-on favorite, and Andres Jimenez from the Guardians.
Yeah, Marcus Semien should win that one. Marcus Semien was nails at second base this year. What was his fielding percentage? Like 990 something?
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
Gold Glove Award third baseman finalist Matt Chapman, Jose Ramirez, Alex Bregman.
We all know who's going to win that one.
With the playoffs, Josh Young has 5 errors on the season.
Yeah, the only reason Josh Young's not on that list is because he was hurt for so long, for about a month.
And then who are you saying is going to win? Matt Chapman?
Matt Chapman, yeah.
And then shortstop, Anthony Volpe, Corey Seager, Carlos Correa.
Corey Seager wins that one. Corey Seager was the best shortstop in the American League.
All right, they're still announcing finalists, so maybe by the end of the show we'll have the outfield. Here's left field: Austin Hayes, Dalton Varsho, and Stephen Kwan. So there's the left field. I think the D-backs made it to the playoffs a year early, so I'm proud of what they've done. But watch out for next year. That's what Roy says. The D-backs had a solid year. I thought they started really, really well. They finished how I thought Texas would finish.
Yeah.
They had a really rough middle of the year. But I thought before the season Texas would win 85 games. I thought they'd be right where the D-backs were. They won 84. You got 5 over that. You won 90. If you would have told me before the year again that Texas would be in the ALCS, I would have called you crazy. But here you are. So I think you're a year early as a Texas Rangers fan as well. Maybe 2 years early for an ALCS.
I agree. And I don't think that, if you're actually, you probably bring him up anyway, but I don't think that you thought you would get what you're getting from Evan Carter as a rookie here in the playoffs.
Adolis Garcia got hurt.
Yeah. And that was 3 weeks left in the season?
Yeah,
3.5 weeks. It wasn't like he had a ton of time in the majors, in the big leagues.
He barely qualified for the playoff roster.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's one of those deals where I think the Rangers are ahead of schedule because they didn't plan on Josh Young being this good. They didn't plan on Evan Carter being this good late down the stretch. They didn't plan on Leody Taveras.
You get Wyatt Langford next year.
Yeah, you get Wyatt Langford next year too. They didn't plan on Leody Taveras being this great. They didn't plan on Nathan Eovaldi having close to a Cy Young season if he doesn't get hurt in the middle part of the year. They didn't plan on Jordan Montgomery coming over and just being a super stud, where his first start didn't look great as a Ranger, but then he just has been absolutely nails. DeGrom going down, everybody was like, dadgummit, there goes our pitching rotation. Now it's gonna suck. You've just figured out ways to find a way to stay in it. You led the division up until the last day of the season, which sucks, yeah, but there's a part of me that is happy and glad that they lost that game to the Mariners, because I think you needed a series like the Tampa Bay series to pick you back up and to give you some momentum to push you towards. Because if you lose that and then you go straight to the ALDS against a team who won 2 games in a wild card series, who's got momentum, like the Phillies did to the Braves. I mean, the Phillies had to be stupid good in the second half of the season just to get a wild card spot.
Look at
where they're at.
It pissed them off and it galvanized them a little bit. I think that absolutely was good. But here's this. And I wanted to say this for a couple of weeks now. We haven't really had the opportunity. The Texas Rangers tied to the Houston Astros in the division.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's just flat out saying the Astros came back and won it.
No.
They did because of a tiebreaker.
They did because the Rangers won one of their last 4.
But it was a tie.
Yeah.
And they got the tiebreaker. So yes, they were
because the head-to-head
square because they dominated you all year, but it's not like they came back and took the lead back outright. That seems to be forgotten.
Yeah, no. That's
Alan says Rangers dynasty incoming. Some are saying next year Evan Carter leadoff, Seager, Simeon 1, 2, 3. And then you can
just keep Simeon at the leadoff and put Evan Carter at 2, and then driving them in is
whatever it is. Those are your tough.
Corey Seager. Yeah, it's true.
Evan Carter just is so good at taking strikes and balls.
He for a young hitter, he is so advanced.
Oh my God.
He's so advanced in his approach at the plate that you don't see that from a lot of 21, 22-year-old kids. You just don't see it. I mean, Josh Young does it quite well, but he's not even close to being as good as Evan Carter is at picking out balls and strikes.
No.
Josh had a great at-bat early in this series against the Astros, against Justin Verlander.
Yes.
Where it felt like, Verlander was just throwing everything at him in the kitchen sink. And he just kept fouling balls off. Then he spits on a ball that's about 3 inches outside, And then the next pitch is ball 4 that's down out of the strike zone. Verlander gets the call. But Josh Young drew a walk on a great at bat. He just got rung up by an umpire who has some recency bias.
Then you have Adolis at 4, or he's in arbitration, so I don't know if he'll be back next year. And then Leody Taveras is in arbitration, so I don't know if he'll be back, but everyone else is back. And then you had Wyatt Langford midseason. Jacob deGrom comes back after the All-Star break. Like,
if you can sign Max Scherzer again, that'd be great. I mean,
he's in for another year. Is
he? He's already in for another year? They signed him to another year?
That was part of the deal.
Oh, okay. So he signed for one more year because I knew he was going to be unrestricted at the end of the year. So
no. He had a team option that he opted in.
Okay, good. Sweet. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So Scherzer, that's great news.
Scherzer here next year.
And I think you sign Adolis Garcia again too, just because of the way that, you know.
If not, you have somebody else playing right field that's at a high level. Maybe Wyatt Langford early. I don't know.
You could have a rookie in right and left field.
I mean, you're not signing Adolis long term.
No, you're signing for 3 years, 4 years at the max.
So I don't know what happens next. Let's get through this year first, but yeah, you have a solid window, and you look at Baltimore. Baltimore seemingly was a year or two ahead of schedule too. So you have some young AL teams. The Astros will be in it for several more years. They've been reloading. You look around at the rest of the Central is the Central. They're not going to be competing for World Series, I don't think.
The Twins will continue to win that division. It'll be the Twins of the Indians.
But you have
the Guardians, whatever.
Hey, watch out.
Yeah.
But you have the Rays, the Blue Jays have a lot of young talent. Baseball in the American League is going to be great in the next 5 years. Really good. And
yeah.
Only because the Rangers are competitive.
It's true. We actually care. Yeah.
I haven't cared in the last 5, but I care now, and it feels like you're going to have some really competitive options. Wyatt was the dude from the Gators, right? Yes. He was drafted by the Rangers this year and has been really good in all of his stops. All the way to Double-A?
Yeah, he jumped everything, went and finished the season in Double-A in Frisco. So
or Triple-A after the Double-A season stopped.
Did he play in Round Rock for the last week?
I don't remember, actually, now that I'm saying that. Evan Carter's the greatest number 32 in Rangers history. I mean, let's give him a couple of years.
Yeah.
Do you know who the reference is there, Carson? Do you remember the last 32 for the Texas Rangers?
No, not off the top of my
Hambo. Josh Hamilton.
Josh Hamilton. Yeah, you got a ways to go. As long as he stays off the chalk lines, he'll be fine. Too soon.
Yeah, well, it's true. And as long as he doesn't throw any chairs at his daughter or something.
Yeah,
that was Josh Hamilton, man. If you can erase Josh Hamilton from history, that'd be good. He was electric for a couple of years, but talk about a shining star that burned out pretty quickly.
No doubt.
I always look at Jankowski. Jankowski looks like Josh Hamilton to me, but he hung out in a skate shop instead of a tattoo shop. It's never too soon to joke about substance abuse, according to Alan Corbin.
Oh man. By the way, Wyatt Langford did finish in AAA this year. 19 ABs in AAA, 5 games. Played 3 games in rookie ball. He was too good for that, so they moved him up to A ball. High A, he had 24 games. He was too good for that, so he played 12 games in AA. He was too good for that, so they moved him up to AAA to play the last 5 games.
He opens up.
Oh yeah,
an invite to spring training. I don't know I don't know if he'll be on the roster open up the season.
He'll be on the 29 man, I think, to open the season, and then whenever they have to decrease the rosters back down when the minor league season starts, he might go back down. But I don't know, man. If you don't sign Adolis Garcia, I think Wyatt Langford's your starting right fielder.
But don't you want to give Evan Carter a chance to be Rookie of the Year and then bring up Wyatt Langford?
Nah, let them fight it out. It'll make them both better. That'll make them both better.
They'll steal votes from each other, and somebody else will win it.
Nah.
They'll Graham
One of
Harrell
them. One of them will be better than the other.
Oh man. I mean, you want your best 9.
Yeah.
I don't know if Wyatt Langford's better than Adolis Garcia, but again, in arbitration, you just have to see who's back next year. But
yeah.
Jonah Heim is back. Nathaniel Lowe is back, I believe, still on contract. So
Mitch Garver, I think, still has one more year left, if I'm not mistaken. Or is he?
The middle infield's locked in.
Yeah, I mean, your infield's locked in.
Evan Carter's locked in. Josh Young is locked in. So,
pitching-wise, what's Nate Eovaldi's?
I don't know all those signings. I know DeGrom was a long-term signing, but I don't know how many of those John Gray, Eovaldi, Heaney. I don't know how many of those were just 1 years, but they seemingly liked it here, so I think you could probably lock them up again.
Yeah.
Now Martin Perez. So I don't know. But again, you have to do it this year first. And if you somehow get to a World Series, that opens up the checkbooks even more because now you're really all in going for it. And if you win a World Series, I don't know what you do. I mean, you go for more, right?
Yeah, you go for more. You go for 2 in a row. I mean, try and do what the Astros have done. Win 7 straight ALCS. Go to 7 straight ALCSs. Go to however many World Series the Astros have gone to in the last 7 years. Win 3 or 4. Win 2 or 3. It's one of those deals where I don't think there's ever too much winning. Winning never becomes a problem. Winning never creates an issue. The only issue it creates is that tickets become high.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. As long as the Rangers are winning, I don't care. I'll pay to go watch the Rangers Astros series for $125. I don't care. In the middle of the year, in the middle of July. It's just one of those deals where it's even worth going to a World Series game at Globe Life Field, just because you never know. It's funny to say this because you never know. It's like going to the Final Four when Texas Tech was playing in the Final Four. We paid quite a good dime to go up there and make that trip to Minnesota. And you do it because you never know when you're going to get back. Like, you can't take those kind of things for granted, and because it's so hard. It's so hard. What the Astros have done to get to 7 straight ALCS appearances is just stupid. Like, it shouldn't. It's like the Atlanta Braves winning, 9 or 10 straight NL East pennants, like NL East titles, and then winning the National League pennant a few years. In those 10 years, it's so hard to do these things. It's so hard to get to an ALCS as it is. It's even harder to get to the World Series and then win a World Series. Never, ever will you be mad or say, if you win one, what do? Like, you go create another monster and you win another one. And then you keep doing it until it becomes fiscally irresponsible to field the team that you've won 3 or 4 World Series with. And then you have to break it apart and rebuild.
You even have Venables coming back, the bench coach.
Oh yeah,
interviews to come back as a bench coach.
There you go.
How long do you have Bruce Bochy coming out of retirement?
Man, I'll tell you what, Bruce Bochy has been the turn. If you don't have Bruce Bochy on the bench as your manager in the clubhouse, you aren't in the position you're in.
Man, and he has been stroking that bullpen. I have been baffled by all of his bullpen decisions, and they've all been dead on right. So
he's been around it for so long.
Yeah.
He just understands the game. And here's the thing too about Boch is he doesn't get high and he doesn't get too low. Every time they pan to him in the dugout, he's got the same demeanor, right? And after the game, he cracks a smile because they've won. And after the game, if they lose, he's a little upset. He's a competitor, man. And that's what you got to love about Bruce Bochy. There hasn't been a time where when Bruce Bochy is in the thick of it and he has a team that could possibly go to a World Series or win or do this, that he hasn't gone to compete for a world title.
Yeah.
Like, think about those Giants teams that he had. Some of them that weren't the best team in baseball, but they figured out ways to win. And I think that has a lot to do with the manager. It has a lot to do with the coaching staff that you put around you. Baseball is a funny game because the coaches aren't calling plays like football. They're not setting sending in. They do send in substitutions, but not like basketball where you're calling out plays from the sideline. You're doing this, that, and the other.
Right.
Baseball is the manager's job is to keep the clubhouse as a unit, as a close unit, and to make the right decisions at the right time, especially as far as the bullpen goes, like you said, and then make the right decisions as far as who's going to pinch hit here, who's going to play defense in this situation, where am I putting this guy? When does Robbie Grossman, play off of the bench? And how good has Robbie Grossman been whenever he's had the opportunity most of this year? Robbie Grossman was great in most of his opportunities this year for you. He played a big integral role in the reason that you were so good this year. And Bruce Bochy, he told him at the beginning of the year, you're not going to start every day, but when you do start, I need you to be this guy. And Grossman was that guy. Mitch Garver's another guy who Bruce Bochy just told him, stay with me, keep on this thing, and you're going to be an integral part in this team. And Mitch Garver was nails when Jonah Heim was out. And he's been good ever since as the DH. And it's just, and I think the reason these rookies are having so much success is because Bruce Bochy doesn't put a whole lot of you got to be this, you got to be so great because there's such high, standards on where you need to be. Bruce Bochy just lets them go out and play baseball. And you can see him going out and playing relaxed. It's fun to watch because you can tell how a manager coaches their team, how a team plays on the field. It's a lot the same way that Ron Washington did his thing. Now, Bochy and Washington are completely different people.
A little
completely
bit
different people, but they're the way that they coach their guys and want to make their guys feel like the locker room is a comfortable place that they can be comfortable on the field as well. That pays a big dividend. And what they do, Dusty Baker's kind of the same way. He's a relaxed manager, lets the guys be the guys. And that's why the Astros have had a lot of success since Dusty Baker has come in too. So they haven't skipped a beat ever since Dusty Baker. I think they've gotten better with Dusty Baker as their manager. So there's a lot to be said about a manager in Major League Baseball. A manager makes a team in Major League Baseball. I truly believe that. I mean, look at the New York Yankees. They've got this roster that's stupid and all these things, but Aaron Boone's just not the guy. Like, I think he's an idiot.
I can't believe he's still there.
I can't either.
So, all right, we can talk college football tomorrow or Friday. We haven't decided yet. One of those 2 days we'll have a college football show. Anything else on the Phillies, the Diamondback series? That one 2-0 as well. And it doesn't seem like if one of these goes 7, it's going to be Rangers Astros, right?
Yeah, if one of them goes 7, it's going to be Rangers. I don't think the Diamondbacks win a game in this series. I just think that the Philadelphia Phillies are on one of those runs, and this sounds bad because it could be the Rangers they play in the World Series. But the Phillies are on one of those runs where it just seems like they have something to prove, and they're pissed off, and they're playing like the city of Philadelphia. And the city of Philadelphia, for whoever is watching this and listening to this that has never seen a Philly sports fan, like, those people are just rock hard, like the toughest people you've ever met. If they're not winning, they are ticked off. When they're winning, they're the biggest trash talkers in the whole entire world, and nobody's better than Philly. And if you talk any crap about them, they're going to come for you. And Philly is playing a lot like that. And I actually love the Philadelphia sports fan. Like, that is my kind of people right there. Those are my people. I love that kind of sports fan. Huh?
Throwing batteries at Santa?
Yeah, like, come on, man. It doesn't get any better than people who love their team that much. Now, it gets a little crazy. Some of them do some things that I would never be caught dead doing. But, I mean, people that whenever the Phillies win things, like go to the World Series last year, the Philadelphia Eagles go to the Super Bowl, they're climbing light poles. The city has to go and put Crisco all over the light poles so that the people won't storm the streets and tear the whole thing down. It's crazy. You know, it's one of those deals where you don't see that in a lot of fan bases, and the people in Philly support everything Philadelphia. Like when Villanova's in the national title in basketball, those people are there because it's a Philadelphia institution. When Temple was good in football, they packed the stadium in Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial, whatever it's called now. It's Philadelphia sports fans are a different breed. And like I said, if it's Rangers, Phillies in the World Series, even if it's Astros, Phillies in the World Series, again, the Phillies have something to prove. They're pissed off from last year. They're pissed off that they didn't play well in the first half of the year this year. They're pissed off that no one gave them a chance against the Braves. All of these things. And I've enjoyed watching the Philadelphia Phillies play. Even Bryce Harper talking trash to Orlando Arcia, who maybe said something, maybe didn't. I love it. Like, take everything you can and put that chip on your shoulder, man. I used to hate Bryce Harper, probably because he's my age and he's doing all the things I wish I could be doing. And he's as good at baseball as I wish I was.
Yeah.
That's probably a lot of the
I've always loved Bryce Harper, man. He's
and you've always been a Bryce Harper guy, and now I'm a big Bryce Harper guy. I love the way he goes about the game. I love how hard he plays the game. You know, there's not a lot of big leaguers that go balls to the wall like Bryce Harper does, and that whole Phillies team seems to do that. Bryson Stott, who's like his little brother from Las Vegas, he does the same thing. Nick Castellanos is a dirtbag. He does the same thing. It's just fun to watch the Phillies play. And, you know, there's a different way that they play the game versus the Rangers, how they play the game. The Rangers are a more relaxed way of playing the game, but both of those can work. So it should be an interesting series between the Phillies and Rangers, or the Phillies and Astros, if the Astros are able to find ways to beat the Rangers 4 times here in the next week. Either way, baseball's back, baby. And it makes me so happy that Major League Baseball has become this thing that people are talking about more and people love to watch now, versus this boring, oh, baseball's too slow. Not anymore. It's not. Not anymore. It's not.
All right.
Yeah, Alan we'll need a full report on Alan in the next couple days, whichever day we decide to come again.
What are your thoughts on calling Globe Life Field the GILF?
The GILF?
Yeah. I've seen that a little bit. I don't know if I love it. Globe Life.
I mean,
GLF. Thoughts on the Rangers? We've had a lot of thoughts. We've had 45 minutes of thoughts on the Rangers. Very excited. We got overly excited and talked about the future of the Rangers for some reason. Rangers, Astros. I'm guessing 6 games. Rangers.
I'm going to say the Rangers wrap it up here at home in these 3 games at home.
So Rangers in 5.
Rangers in 5. The Astros will scroll one out, not tonight, but tomorrow, and then the Rangers wrap it up.
So you think Scherzer gets a dub?
I think Scherzer and the bullpen get a dub tonight. I don't care who gets the win.
Or else you're in on Christian Javier giving 17 walks, and
I'm in on Christian Javier crapping the bed, yeah, and being his hockey self and thinking the Rangers can't touch him, and the Rangers just pelt him. Corey Seager's going yard in the first inning.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here
Rangers
first.
5, Rangers in 6. We've got a Rangers sweep in the comments section, the starting line chat.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Alan Corbin saying Rangers sweep. If you don't lose until you play Philly, I mean, that is insane.
Just nuts.
Has anyone ever swept the playoffs?
I'm sure there has been somebody that swept the playoffs.
MLB.
In the history of baseball, there's got to be someone who has swept the playoffs.
The Cincinnati Reds are the only team. The 1976 Cincinnati Reds were the last perfect postseason performance. This is from 2018. I don't think anybody's done it since then.
No.
I don't think.
No, nobody's done it since 1976. Says there was, in Baseball Almanac, there was between 1907 and 1968, when it was just the best teams out of each league, there were 12 instances of teams winning the World Series by means of a sweep, which there was no ALCS, there was no ALDS, any of that. But since they've added in all of these things, the 76 Cincinnati Reds, the Big Red Machine, are the only team to ever sweep a playoffs. and win the World Series.
I don't think that happens this year.
No,
To be fair,
no. The Rangers aren't that. You're not that guy, pal.
You're not that guy,
You're
pal.
not that guy. I wish they were. That'd be cool, but
you're not that guy.
You would have that on the board.
Alan says Scherzer goes 5, gives up only a run. Young hits a grand slam. That's awesome. We'll see. Scherzer going 5 seems like the more wild thing.
Plausible.
No, the opposite.
The opposite. You think Scherzer going 5 is crazy?
I mean, is Mad Max showing up and just gutting it out and being incredible?
He's Kurt Schilling bloody socking this thing tonight, man.
Like, is he going to go 8? Is he going to pitch a complete game?
There ain't no way he's going 8. But if he can give you 5, if he can give you 5 and work into the 6th.
Is he throwing 100 pitches tonight?
No. Did you see the story about how he threw his bullpen the other day, though? His simulated? Yeah. He said, I've never pitched a simulated game hungover, but, you know, it is what it is after you win the ALDS.
Oh, man.
I am. Takes you back to Saturday inter squads in college.
Yeah, I'm nervous for tonight. Very nervous. All right. Anything else?
No, just man, these playoffs have been really fun. I don't care. I've watched pretty much every game, every single game I've watched. And it's been fun to watch baseball be on this stage and people enjoy it. The crowds have been insane, have been electric. Except for Tampa with 19,000 people. That's embarrassing. Everybody else has been great. Minnesota was great. Their fans were amazing in that Astros series. They tried to will Minnesota to a few more victories, but couldn't do it. But yeah, it's been fun to watch. It's been a great playoffs, and obviously the Rangers being in it has helped that quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed it. The Phillies Braves series was insane. Scherzer will spread taco sauce on his arm like Kurt put ketchup in his sock. I think taco sauce might feel a little bit like Tiger Balm. It might be all right.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Yeah, Jacob said, how many people in baseball watch pitches like Carter regardless of age? There's not a whole lot. I mean, you can count on one hand how many guys are that selective and can you know, pick balls and strikes, can see balls versus strikes that well. There's not a whole lot of them that can do it. Nolan Arenado is a guy that whenever he was in his prime, he does that very well. He walks at a very high rate. Nolan Arenado is a guy that comes to mind. He's been very good at that his whole career. You know, Barry Bonds was one of those guys that could pick out balls and strikes from the very early part of his career. That's why he was such a good hitter. I mean, obviously, he was a really good hitter before he was a good home run hitter because of the steroids, but still, he could pick out balls and strikes with the best of them. That's why he owns a record for as many walks as he had in a season. But yeah, Evan Carter, he's an on-base machine because he picks out balls and strikes so well. That's one thing that will help you progress in this game is being that good and that selective at the plate. You'll play a very, very, very long time in this game if you can select balls and strikes that well. They'll find somewhere to put you on the defensive side. It's just a plus that he's a plus outfielder. I mean, he's got every tool you want, right, Rob?
Oh, yeah.
Every single tool. He's got the arm. He's got the fielding. He's got the speed.
Defensively, I think he's been better down the stretch.
Yeah.
He was a little worrisome there in Seattle defensively, but I think that was
jitters.
It was a scenario where he was too far up and they just happened to hit it in the exact spot they needed to hit it in.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all I have to. We'll talk football again either tomorrow or Friday. We'll see what happens. Potentially I'm on the road Friday, potentially not. So we will definitely have one more show this week, college football heavy. And we'll talk a little Mormons versus Matadors.
Be a good one in Provo this weekend.
I hope it is.
Needs to be a good one.
Yeah. after you laid an egg at home.
Yeah, it's a big one for both teams, actually. So
Yeah,
can't wait to break that down.
it's huge for BYU. It's huge for Texas Tech. It is
Yeah.
a massive game. Implications galore. All right, that's it for me, Carson. We'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Peace.